So we dropped a piece of hair into a bowl of water. We're going to let it sit. This is the hair porosity test. That's a tongue twister for me to say. Welcome on into the Faithfully Bearded Faithful Studios. I am Tyson, aka Faithfully Bearded. And today we're going to talk about hair porosity types. We have low, medium, high, too much, too little, right in the middle. We have ways to tell what your hair needs by your porosity. You might be asking, what is the hair porosity? What is this porosity that you speak of? And basically, you take a strand of hair. You have a strand of hair. The hair has cuticles on it, and they're either really open and they're letting everything in, they're soaking things up, or they're really closed off. You can kind of picture it as scales. Scales on a fish or a snake or a lizard or a reptile or something that has scales. It's like scales around the shaft of your hair, and they're either tightly wound down like this on the hair, and that would be low porosity. And you cannot, it doesn't let anything in. It doesn't let anything in your hair. So your hair has a hard time soaking up any oils, any moisture, any water, anything like that. Or you have the normal type porosity hair, which is kind of like this, where it's like, oh, I'm the perfect hair. I'm the hair that soaks up the moisture, and I'm shiny and healthy, and I don't really need anything too much, because my scales, my cuticles, I call them cubicles. It's cuticles, but cubicles is so much easier. Why not make a funny in the video? Anyway, then you have the high porosity hair, and they're like this. They're like, oh my gosh, we're wide open. We're gonna soak up everything we can soak up. We're gonna take in all the moistures and the oils, and there's a few different ways you can figure out which type of hair porosity you have. And you need to know this because you use different products based on how your hair can react to it. In this particular video, I'm talking about beard hair, the hair you grow on your face. Now, a lot of people say your head hair is different than your beard hair. Your face is more sensitive. Your follicles are more sensitive on your beard, on your face for your beard hair. But when we're talking about hair in general, your hair has a porosity scale level. And you're talking low, normal, high, and it affects the way that things soak up. So for instance, if I have a low porosity hair and my scales are tightly wound around my hair and things can't get in, would I want to do a cold rinse, which is going to shrink things up and make them tighter? A cold rinse is going to close those down even tighter, allowing nothing to get into my hair. No. I don't want to do that. If I have a low porosity hair, I want to use some heat. I want to use some warmth to get the things to relax and open up like a flower. That's right, I just compared it to a flower, but you want it to open up so when you put product in, it can get in there and moisturize your hair. If you guys are thinking Billy Madison this whole time, like, no, shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. No, conditioner is better. You know, if you're thinking that the whole time, like, that's just what keeps popping in my head. Now, if I have a high porosity hair and these things are wide open, my hair is going to dry extremely fast. It's going to soak everything up really quick. So if you have and you put an oil in and you notice that your hair, your beard dries out a little bit quicker, or you get out of the shower and your beard dries really quick, you don't necessarily want to apply heat, because that's going to open it up more and dry it out even quicker. You would want to take like a cold rinse, use cold air to kind of get those to come in a little bit, to be more normal, so they use a steady, healthy inflow of products into your hair shaft. So what you can do, we're going to talk about in future videos how you determine your products based on the porosity of your hair. But first, we have to find out what type of porosity our hair has. So to do that, there's a couple different tests. Okay? One, you could grab a spray bottle and you could squirt your beard. And generally, if the water like kind of beads up on your beard, you probably have a low porosity hair because the scales are closed. The water's not soaking; it's just beating up. If it kind of soaks in and then it dries quickly, you probably have a high porosity hair because those scales are wide open. It goes in there, it sucks it up. But the thing that you have to think about this first is we put wax in our beard, we put balms, we put butters, we put all sorts of things, oils, waters don't mix. You're going to bead and run. So what I recommend doing is taking a shower, washing your beard with some very stripping pine tar, some stripping beard wash, get it nice and clean, and then get out, let it dry. Right after it dries, find a hair that maybe you brush out onto the sink, or you just pluck it out. I happened to find one that as I was drying, I had a beard hair that shedded out. It shedded out. It had the white bulb on the end. It was healthy shedding. It shedded out. And so I grabbed it. I dropped it in this bowl of water because that is another test you can do. You can fill up a bowl of lukewarm water. And why do I say lukewarm? Because if it's cold water, it's naturally going to make your scales on your hair, those cuticles, it's going to make them close because the water's cold. If it's hot water, it's going to make them open. So you don't want to do that. You just want to do normal temperature, room temperature water. You drop a strand of hair on the water. You give it 2 to 4 minutes, up to 5, up to 10. If it floats, it's low porosity because the scales are closed. It's not soaking up any of that moisture, so it's just going to stay up there and float. If it sits right in the middle of the water, kind of goes up and down, and it's just floating around in the water, you have a normal porosity hair. If it's a high porosity hair, it is going to sink down to the bottom, means it's soaking up all that water. It's gaining that weight from that water, and it's flowing down to the bottom and sitting. This determines what products work best in your beard and how you can make your beard look and feel. So when you have somebody that their beard feels dry with a product and somebody that their beard doesn't feel dry, it could be the porosities of their hair. And that's why we can all have different products that work fantastic for us, right? Like there's more science behind this. And hair porosity is not one thing that we've really talked about in the beard community very often. And so I'm starting a series today on the porosity of hair. And now that we've kind of talked about it, I'm going to give you some more behind the scenes with hair porosity. I'm going to tell you what products work best for low, normal, and high porosity hairs. I'm going to tell you how to groom, because sometimes you don't necessarily want heat to help your hair. All right. So we're going to do that. This is going to be a once a week series of the porosity. Give this video a thumbs up if you found value in this. Hit me up in the DMs if you want to chat, but we're on to something here and we're bringing it to you first right here on Faithfully Bearded. Oh, let's check in with my hair. I mean, this video is 8 minutes long, so let's see what my hair did in this bottle. And it actually is kind of what I thought. You guys aren't going to be able to see this on camera, but what I have here is I have this dish of water. And again, you're not going to see it. It's one strand of hair in here. I don't know if you guys can see it. You probably can't see it. It's not floating. It's not on the bottom. It is still sitting right on top. That was kind of my guess because I tend to have problems soaking up products, I feel like. So my guess would have been that I had a low porosity hair, which can make your beard look thinner, where you get some of that see-through, because you're not soaking up those products. Your hair is thin. It's dried out. You need to do longer soakings of stuff to get it into your beard hair shaft. All right? So I have a low porosity hair based on this test. So now I can use products that are meant for a low porosity hair and see what improvements I can change with my beard. Now that I know what it wants, what it needs, how the hair makeup is, I can treat it that way. So go ahead, do this test. Do this test and comment down below what your results you're getting and follow me along on this journey. Let's do this together. Let's find products that work for us and our porosity hairs, and we're going to have fun along the way. Be you, be bearded, and God bless. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, that thumbs up, and that bell. Turn on all your notifications so you know when we come out with new content. You can also find us at faithfullybearded.com, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on your favorite podcast network. Just search Faithfully Bearded on your favorite podcast app. God bless.